Dean Park Bazza and
Mrs. Bazza.
And good afternoon, everybody. We are back to give you an update on my retirement. We did a vlog just before I retired, didn't I?
Yeah.
And talked about how I was able to retire at 58. And now we're 2 months into it. How's it going for you, Max? Yeah, it's going well. She has no problems. Yeah. But we're 2 months in, and things are going well. And Maxine is drinking a little more than she was 2 months ago.
I'm still down to one bottle
a day.
A week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is that enough? This vlog is going to go really well. It's going to go really well, I can tell you that. And in the vlog, we'll go, while she chugs her a drink, in the vlog we're going to talk about 5. Is it good? Oh, it smells good. I could do with some of that. We're going to talk about 5 surprises in the first 2 months of retirement, and hopefully they will help you. If you're planning to retire or have just retired, maybe you can sort of relate to what's going on. But there was a few surprises, as included in the title, is we already blew the budget, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, all that planning and those spreadsheets, and I'll talk more about that as we go through these. But yeah, so let's talk about sort of the 5 surprises that have hit me in the first 2 months of retirement. And feel free to chip in at any time or swig your drink at any time. I've got a cup of tea, which I may be swigging.
I don't.
Yeah. So yeah, and by the way, we're inside today because what temperature is it outside, Max?
107.
107. We're in Orlando, Florida. If you don't know, I'll give you a shot here of the outside. You can go back and watch the other vlog, but yeah, we were going to film outside like we did the last one, but it's a little toasty at 107 degrees here in July in Orlando. So let's start with, so 2 months ago, just over 2 months ago, I retired. And the first thing that was a surprise once I was retired, which I didn't realise, was how much we were bleeding money. Even before retirement. And I wish I'd taken some of these steps before retirement. But it's like paper cuts. It's like tiny little cuts of things that you don't actually think about or go looking for until you're on a fixed income. Yeah. And there's no more money coming in.
We're saying no more money coming in.
Yeah, and then suddenly
you realise
every dollar is...
It's like, oh...
Yeah, we could save that. We could save that. And let me give you some examples of that. Things that... it's not like, going to Starbucks where you pay like $5 for a coffee. We're not cutting back.
We're not being such cheapskates.
No, but it's like the things that we could save money on, but still enjoy. And some examples of that were like music apps. I had YouTube Music, and I was paying $10 a month for that. But I don't like stream. I download, and then I'll download and not download anything for 2 or 3 months, then download again. So why pay monthly $10 when you could just turn it off?
Yep.
And then resubscribe when you get and then resubscribe when you get something. Download 10 things and turn it off again. So you might think it's only $10 a month, but over a year, $120. That's a lot of money when you've got no money coming in.
Yeah, that's just one thing.
That's one thing, and we found a few of those things, and including like the apps as well. On the we stream. We don't have cable TV, do we?
No, we don't.
So we have Max and Hulu, and we've kept most of them, but we've even found ways like to combine some of them, like Hulu's owned by Disney now. So if you get a subscription with them together, you save like $2 or $3 over the individual ones. So that spreadsheet I'll show you earlier on, I showed you in the earlier vlogs, I'll put a picture in here, is where you go through everything. It doesn't really stand out, those individual things, until you start breaking it down and going through it. And I'd say one of the biggest things that we actually saved money on, believe it or not, was the phones.
Yeah.
On the telephones, because we were paying number one is we still had our daughter on our plan.
Yes.
So it's like, Chloe, off. So she's 27, she got her own job. She's been on our plan forever. And we didn't change our supplier AT&T. We've had them since we moved here to America in 2005. So we've had them 20 years and never really looked for an alternative. But then we started looking around, and AT&T were doing a plan for over 55s, which I just about qualify for. Do you?
Yes.
Just.
Very just.
So yeah, it was over 55 plan, and it went down to $80 a month. And so we switched to that. And you can't do it online, by the way. If you're going to do this, a lot of times you have to go into the store. And that was only for Florida, by the way. If you're not in Florida, that plan might not apply, but Verizon and other people do those sort of plans as well. You just got to search for senior plans or whatever. So we did that, went in the store, did it all, set it all up.
They were very good as well.
They were very good.
Really easy to do.
But then the first thing I found was I was sat in the car at the dentist, I think, and I had my iPad, and I was trying to tether my iPad to the phone. Wouldn't work. And then I went back and said, oh yeah, that's not available on this plan. I'm like, well, it isn't an unlimited plan then, is it? Long story short, we signed up with Mint. That's the Ryan Reynolds company, isn't it? And they do that tethering, and they charging us $30 a month each. But I think for the first 3 months it was 15. Then it's so it's $60 a month for both of them, and it's unlimited, basically everything. And I think it's on the Verizon network, but they use their own thing. So, think about that. We went down from 100, we saved basically, from that kind of thing, we saved like nearly $180 a month.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to save for phones. And then we just come back from the UK where we did a trip, and AT&T used to charge us $10 a day for roaming. Each. And Mint was $20 for 10 days. And again, we could have done this a long time ago. And it's just like
you just don't think about it.
You don't think about it, do you? You're comfortable in what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not retired, go and check those things. You don't realise these little paper cuts, how you're bleeding money here, there, and everywhere. And again, it was mainly the TV apps, the smart apps that you signed up for. I even as a YouTube editor, I'd signed up for apps for editing and use them once or twice. They're only like $5-6 a month, but I just had the subscription. So I went into Apple, saw all the subscriptions I had, went into Google, saw all the subscriptions we had, and then we talked about what we wanted to keep, what we wanted to lose. And long story short, we've probably saved over $200 a month.
Yeah, easy.
Just by cutting back on those things, and still got unlimited phone plans, still got all the things we want to watch, I still got all the music, and I can go back and get it. But it's it's quite interesting how when you start looking at these things, you realise what they are. So that's the thing, bleeding everywhere, cut that, stop that. And again, don't have to wait till you retire to do that. But it was just, we were lazy, but we just had never thought about doing it.
And most people won't.
And most people won't, because it's those they're like incremental things that come on top of each other. But yes, that was number one. The second surprise was, it might have come to surprise as people, but how good it is. I'm really enjoying retirement. Never been as busy. Crazy busy, and there's a reason for that, but there's also a psychological thing here that I could understand for some people, because for me it was a bit different, because I worked from home or travelled. I didn't have a regular office where we're going every day, a social scene at work. The social scene is actually here in Florida, and I was not able to have that social scene because I was working 5 days a week at the desk that's just behind you. You were going to the park some days, but work was between me and going out and having fun, meeting other YouTube folks that we know, going to the parks. So for me, it was different in as soon as work finished, I became very busy because we're going out a lot more and seeing people.
A lot more.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later on. But but it's just busy. But I can understand where if you're in a social scene and then you stop, how we have another friend who, back in the UK, who lasted 2 months.
Yeah.
And then went back to work again. I can really see why people do that. And he was like working in a factory with a group of people, and then he was then just at home all day. And I could understand that transition. So you need to find, some people talk about finding your purpose, something in life to keep you busy. And I can understand that now. I already had a purpose, and that was to go out with friends and to go to the theme parks.
Enjoy them a little bit.
Yeah, we had all the season passes. In fact, for the first time, we've been in Florida now how long?
4.5 years.
4.5 years. And for the first time in 4.5 years after I retired, we went to see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. We went out at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, because you normally tired.
Because I'm working Monday to Friday, or I'm travelling around the world, and then only back at weekends. And then we were filming YouTube at the weekends. So it was really a surprise how much I enjoyed it. Even just sitting out in the morning by the pool.
With your fourth cup of coffee.
With my fourth cup of coffee by 11 o'clock. But I tell you the best thing, the most exciting thing, and it's probably really weird, is I can get my hair cut anytime. I was very excited, wasn't it?
10 a.m.
Yeah, it's like, it's a Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'm going to go and get my hair cut. I don't have to make an appointment after 5. I don't have to try and get in at the weekend. So one thing that retirement does give you is time to do things. And how you fill that time and how you find your purpose is down to you. But be prepared if you're in a very social scene at a factory. It's like a switch. You throw a switch, there's no transition. Don't expect you're going to get calls from your work colleagues to come back or help out or hang out because it's very much a switch where you go from one lifestyle to another. So be prepared. and have a plan. And our plan is working well, apart from one thing that we'll talk about later on. One of the other psychological things that I didn't realise was so important, but I think it really is important when you're going to retire, and that is to have some kind of side hustle, especially if you're retiring at 58.
A hobby.
A hobby, a side hustle is something.
Preferably a paid one.
Yeah, something that makes you a bit
Yeah.
of cash, whether it's like crafting or helping out, or what the reason is, when you've been working like I was for 40 years, and there's been a salary coming in every week or every 2 weeks in the US, and suddenly that tap is turned off. Psychologically, it's really hard.
It's a big shock.
It's a big shock, and I know I have some other friends who retired just before me, and they're living on spreadsheets, and they're running spreadsheets every day. That's not me. But one saving grace was actually this of YouTube. YouTube doesn't make us a ton of money. It's kind of holiday spending money. But psychologically, there's money coming in.
Yeah, there's still the tap coming.
It's dripping tap every month. So even though there's more going out than coming in, but the fact is, psychologically, there's still a bit coming in. So if you're going to retire early, I would recommend, that's taken a lot of the stress off for me. I would highly recommend having a side hustle, a hobby, something that, whether it's painting or whether it's art or whether it's helping out, part-time job at the weekends, just something, even if it's only for the first year, to transition you through that phase. And I've watched other retirement vlogs, I'm sure you have, where they talk about after the first 2 or 3 years you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
But I can't explain psychologically how hard it is to turn that.
It doesn't matter how much planning you do.
No.
Does it?
No.
It still hits you like
even
a
if you
brick.
have millions of dollars, we don't. You have millions of dollars saved. It's that switch to I'm not earning anymore.
Yeah.
And everything's take out your savings.
Yeah.
Especially.
Then you start panicking.
Yeah. And that's then you start drinking.
And then I start drinking.
Yeah, but maybe I do as well. But the fact is that even from you got your medical stuff to cover that we have at 58 till we're 65. So I've got COBRA through work for the first 18 months. But it's all going out. It's all your bank account's going down every day. It's not going up. I mean, yeah, there's interest earned from your stocks and shares and your 401ks and that type of stuff. But it's just psychological that I'm spending. And like I said, I do have a friend who retired before me, and he's basically calculating every little thing. And that's not really living, is it?
No.
When you're doing that.
No, you've got to live. You've still got to live.
You've still got to live
and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and so I would say plan for that. Especially if you're going to retire early. And I'm not going to draw. I can't draw Social Security until I'm 62. And again, once Social Security comes in, or like a pension comes in, you have got that drip feed of things coming in. It's just that period where it's like take, and no replenishment.
Well, that's what happens when you retire early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So YouTube really helped. I mean, we didn't intend it to be a revenue stream for this. It was sort of a hobby that I had. And but it really has psychologically, just seeing that something coming in every month has been really helpful to pay for extra vodka that Maxine needs to drink. Now we're and she drinks it neat, she's not kidding. That's no ice, no same with brandy as well, don't you? Yeah, rum. Sorry.
Rum.
Yeah, the
rum's my favourite.
Yeah, she's finished the rum.
Yeah, I finished the rum.
How's it been with me being around there?
There's a bottle gone already.
No, I mean, how's it really been with me being
No, it's been lovely.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to have him at home and going out together and spending time together, because Monday to Friday, even though he was at home, he wasn't really there. He was like, he'd come down for some lunch a brew, and then he'd be back again. And that was on a good day. If it was a bad day, you were on back-to-back calls.
Yeah.
And then you'd be grumpy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice. You've been a bit more chilled, I think.
Yeah, less
no
stress.
More stress.
Yeah, stress is a big thing.
I mean, you still have stress because there's no money coming in.
Yeah.
But it's not been as stressful, I don't think.
Yeah.
To you.
No, I don't feel it as well. I feel it a lot. I used to get a lot of aches and pains, didn't I? When I get stressed, shoulders and
shoulder
stuff like
spasms. And
I think I've had one in 2.5 months where I was getting them 2 or 3 times a week before with the stress. So it's a different. Stress is a killer as well.
Yeah.
And it really affects you. I think my blood pressure's come down a little bit.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
We'll see when we go to the doctors.
When we go to the
checkups. So yeah, that's the next thing I think that was a surprise to us. So the next one is, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, was one thing that retirement gives you is time. You now have time to do things. I haven't done anything around the house yet, but
no, but it is too hot. It
It is
summer,
too hot. It's
and
107
we can't do
degrees.
anything outside yet because
Yeah,
it's
it's
way
winter
too hot.
time in Florida. Yeah, you're quite right. But we just did a road trip. We went on it wasn't very successful. If you want to go back and look at the vlog, where I broke my ankle and the car broke.
Yeah.
But we have never been able to like just take 2 weeks out and go do a road trip before because of work. You know, in America, you only get like 2 weeks vacation is normal. I was quite senior in the business. I think I had 4 or 5 weeks. But it's still, the norm here in the US is a week.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks is kind of weird. 3 weeks nobody really takes because they don't have that
They
many
don't have
holidays.
that many holidays.
But you can do that now you're tired. You have time to go and do things. You have time. So one thing it gives you is time to go on long road trips. And when we go back, we just come back from England to see family. Yes, there's a cost for renting a car over there or where you're staying. But the flights are the same price if you go for a week or you go for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it gives you options. And also now we're not working. We haven't done it. We haven't got that mental thing yet where we could say, oh, what we're doing next week? Are there any flights going to England?
Yeah,
We're still booking a year ahead.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing we did was we paid for all the holidays this year and actually the one next year,
Yeah.
first half of next year, before I retired,
Yeah. So
to
it's
make
okay
sure we had when I retired that that was not going to be drawing out the money. I did it well psychologically. I knew there was money coming in to replenish it a little bit as well. So, but now we are retired. There's the choice of really just being able to go and say, what flight is it tomorrow? You know, obviously we have commitments around here and things to do, but you've given that flexibility from that side of things. So I was surprised how much we're enjoying the flexibility. It wasn't really something on my radar as, you know, a big thing, but it is a huge thing.
It is huge.
Having that flexibility to do those things.
Yeah.
And then I think next to the last one, and this is one, and again, we're getting a little more psychological, is there's some things when we were looking at costs and everything,
And cutting costs,
that it's really hard to do.
Go off.
Yeah, go off, yes. You know, we're not really materialistic in a lot of ways, but the one thing we've really struggled with is cars, because we both have a car. Do we both need a car?
No.
Does it cost us a lot of money to have 2 cars?
Yeah.
2 lots of insurance and everything?
Yeah.
Have we still got 2 cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I don't know what it is with car. It's your it's your freedom.
Yeah.
It's your mobility. We don't need it now, so it's like say you and I hang out together.
Yeah.
You can always get an Uber if you wanted to go somewhere. So we will do it, but we haven't mentally got to that point. The road trip, we decided we would get rid of the Tesla because of the problems we have. But actually letting go is really hard because I don't know it's because as you're finally getting your own car when you could save up for it and have it was a big deal.
And we've always had 2 cars.
And we've always had 2 cars, and you may be the same, you know. And it's not we want a big luxury. It's not like a luxury thing. It's just psychologically, it's like a freedom thing. I can see now. My dad's 89, and he had to stop driving a while ago. We had to stop him driving because he wasn't safe, and he still moans about it today. About losing his mobility and his freedom. I can see why. Because it's a big thing to lose it.
Yeah. Even though you would still have a car.
Yeah.
It's not going away completely. But it's not
your
car.
Yeah.
Or my car.
A lot of people say that about it's your car, it's my bit of luxury.
Yeah.
You know, they're prepared to spend money on those things. But when you get to retirement and you start adding up, well, car insurance, maintenance, tyres, fuel or charging, it's, you know, you think, oh, that's a chunk of money that I could put away. And going on a road trip, we're like, well, we need a car to go on a road trip, but do we? You know, we were thinking, you know, I've been pricing up. If we were to rent a car from Hertz or whatever for 2 weeks, it's like $1,000.
Yeah, well, we have friends who do that, don't we?
Yeah, who come down, drive down.
They don't use their own car. They hire a car.
You haven't got wear and tear on the car. You know, I mean, it's sat in the garage. There's only one of us. We only ever drive one.
Yeah.
We haven't driven your car for 2 or 3 weeks since we came back off holiday, have we?
No.
And they're not. But if you go for a month, like you wanted to go over to the West Coast, we want to do a road trip over there. I think it was like $2,000, which seems a lot. But then again, how much are you paying? And again, you know, you pay $1,000 for insurance a year. Then you've got fuel. Then you've got maintenance. Then you've got depreciation on the car. It's just hard to give it up as an asset, and that's the first thing. There may be others that we come across that are hard to give up on. Luckily, we don't smoke or anything like that, and we don't drink, do we?
No, a lot.
Much. So yeah, sure.
Let's just say we're drinking a little bit more, and he's had a few more.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really that was another psychological. I don't have an answer for that one. If you've got any advice on that, let us know. If you've done that, if you've given up a car and you're now just hiring one to go on trips and things like that, let us know. Give us some confidence that that's the way to go. So I keep looking at that and thinking, it's $2,000. It's not that much for insurance, I won't pay that much for maintenance. But it's just it's a chunk of money.
It's just sat
out in the garage, and when you've got no money coming in.
But also, there's another psychological thing for it, is if we ever need a chunk of money quickly, we could sell a car.
Yeah, as a
backup, as an emergency fund.
Yeah.
So that's also in the back of our minds.
Yeah. Because if we sold it and then put the money in the bank, we just spend it.
It'd get used.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we have to think about and decide.
Yeah.
Because they're fairly, they're pretty new cars and they're worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got new cars before we retired last year because we didn't want any real big expenses. So we traded the cars and we got new ones. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe we should have kept the old ones. Somebody here will be saying they should have kept the old one for 10,000 miles and loaded it to the ground.
Maybe.
But let us know. Give us your comments on that. And then we get to the final one, which was the biggest surprise of all, is we blew the budget already.
Big time.
So we did all that planning with the financial planner. We did that spreadsheet that you saw earlier on. We had everything broken down into internet, electricity, But the one thing that we didn't factor in is a lot of the things that we've talked about already, which is having more time, having a purpose, having things to do. So I'll give you, our old week before retirement was Barry's here in this office
Monday to Friday,
9 to 5, or away. Working here 9 to 5. Come down, you cook tea.
Yep.
We'd have tea together, watch some telly. I'd be like a zombie.
Yeah.
Go to bed, wash, rinse, and repeat for 5 days, and then we'd go out at the weekend, and film for YouTube, and and do all that, and then Monday start again. Now what we found is we're going out several during the week.
Yeah.
Every day, every other day.
Especially in the summer, I think, because a lot of Brits are over.
Yeah.
So
friends.
a lot of our friends are over.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to theme parks, hanging out with people. But what you do when you're out, you have a drink. You have something to eat.
You have snacks.
You go for a meal with friends. Orlando isn't cheap.
No.
So, we didn't budget. When we were eating in, budget, opposed to hanging out with friends, budget, is completely different. Now, I'm not saying we go crazy, but a lot of people coming on holiday, and they've saved up for 2 weeks to come here on holiday, or 3 weeks.
They've saved up for more than that.
Yeah, they said for the 2 weeks they're here. And they're going to go out and have good meals, and they want us to meet us in nice restaurants and have a good time. And suddenly, we're eating out 3 times a week. And that's way outside the budget that we planned for the year. Because I based my entertainment budget on the current status, on the current status, not the to-be status. So there's a tip for you. When you do this retirement planning, think about the to-be status, not where you are, and what you're likely to do, and what that's likely to cost. Now, we did think about that for travel.
Yeah. And
we budgeted for going to England and seeing family and flights. We put a budget for that, but we didn't put a budget together for the day. Well, we had a budget for the weekly, which was based on eating in 5 days a week and only eating out 2 days a week. And now it's flipped.
Yeah.
And we're out 4 days a week. And it's not big, but it's like paper cuts again. It's $20 here, you have a coffee there. Because, in Orlando, you're paying tourist rates for everything.
Everything.
So even just going around the theme parks, if you just stop for a coffee and a donut, boom, there's $10 gone.
Easily.
And it doesn't sound a lot, but when it's 3 or 4 times a week...
you weren't budgeting for.
You weren't budgeting for. We've got to have a mitigation plan to resolve that. We're working on that now, which is obviously trying to reduce the spend when we're out, either sharing meals, not going to let them go to a restaurant, meet them in a park, go around a theme park with them, so we're not in a position where we have to buy food.
Yeah, and we eat at home first.
Yeah.
We did tend to eat at home first anyway.
Yeah, we did. Even when we're going out to the weekends, we'd only have a snack in the parks.
Yeah.
And that's what the budget was.
I think we ate once at weekends, in a restaurant
somewhere. Yeah.
But we used to have dinner or lunch before we went out,
didn't
we?
Fill up and then just a little snack and appetizer. So be aware of that for retirement. Surprises. Nobody's going to have it perfect. We didn't. But you adjust. And and again, it's this factor of everything's going out, nothing's coming in, so you tend to be a little more aware when you're buying things, and you know what prices are for drinks.
Do I really need that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does come down
Do
to
I need it?
there's a need to have and a want to have.
Yeah.
And we think about them all. When we had cash coming in every week, you know, I'd go on Amazon, buy some things, it was cool, new.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know what, this will do.
Yeah.
You know, this will do is okay.
Do I really need another pair of trainers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not scrimping. If we need it, we'll get it.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting a new smartwatch. I'm ordering a new smartwatch because they've got a deal on where we get like $100 for a watch we've got in the drawer that we haven't used.
Around.
That we're going to throw away, and so they give us $100 for that. So I'll probably order a smart. So we're not like, what's the word? We're still living and enjoying things, but we're being more selective in what we spend our money on, and that will happen to you as well in retirement. Oh, let me know. Have you come across these things as well? What was your biggest shock? If you've retired already, what was the one thing that you planned that didn't go to plan?
Yeah.
But tune in. We'll do an update vlog in another couple of months, and we'll let you know how that budget is. At the moment, we're probably running 2x what we expected to spend a month on the food. So I call it like the social thing. I'll have to dig out the spreadsheet. I'll put it in here. I can't remember if we put in here how much it was.
We probably did.
Yeah, but we're currently running about 2x what we thought we would do for the budget, and that's not sustainable over the long period. So we'll see how that goes. Yep. But there you go. There is the just over 2 month update. I think I'm doing okay.
Well,
Yeah.
You might be doing all right.
Yeah. I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm thinking, you know, it suits me, does retirement, doesn't it? Yeah. Does it suit you?
Yes, babe.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing okay, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, we're doing all right. So we'll. If you got any questions, let me know. Any comments, let me know how you're going. If you're planning to retire, if you have retired again, just put your comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. Put your comments below, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.